Hi everyone. As you know, my name is Albert Torcaso, and thanks for watching my videos. You know, I don't want to get too long-winded, but the Republican Party attempted to pass Obamacare, and what you need to know about that is 87% of you and our fellow Americans do not want them to kill Obamacare now. Because the American people, yourself and others, are now learning what the benefits truly are and how many lives are being saved. But yet the Republican Party as a whole, I'm not saying every single Republican, but as a whole, as a body, as an entity, they want to repeal it. And they want to repeal it not for the main reasons that you've been hearing, not the propaganda, not the main reasons. The majority of the reasons they want to repeal Obamacare or the Patient Protections and Affordable Care Act, the real reason is because they want to get that money to have tax breaks for multinational, multi-billion-dollar, and sometimes trillion-dollar corporations. They want to give that money that would save your lives and your family members' lives and the lives of millions of Americans. They want to take that money and give that money to multi-billion-dollar corporations, industries, and individuals. Yes, they truly do want to give it to the top 1 or 2% of Americans, but the worst part of it is they also want to give it to multinational corporations and even corporations that are not based in America and are not even paying tax into it. In other words, let me put it in a different perspective. You and I pay our taxes. You and I would go to jail if we didn't pay our taxes. But General Electric and many of these corporations, they don't pay any taxes at all. And our government wants to give away lots of your money to these corporations who are not putting anything in. Or to put it in even another way, they want to give the corporations an entire free tank of gas, but they want to do it by taking all of your money to buy your gasoline. That's the best way to really put it. So they want to basically steal from you to give to the multi-billionaires and multi-billion-dollar corporations. Now, when I say multi-billion-dollar corporations, that sounds like a broad statement. So let me specify. General Electric in 2009 paid 0 tax dollars. They didn't pay a dime. But in 2009, yes, 2009, they received from our United States government free money. How much did they get? They got $1 billion. General Electric in that year made $101 billion. General Electric made $101 billion, paid 0 taxes, and then our government gave them $1 billion. Now, those of you who think that I'm what you call liberal or unfair, let me be very, very specific here. I just told you our government gave General Electric $1 billion in 2009. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that means that the Obama administration allowed this to happen. So what does that really mean? Well, it means that Democrats can be just as guilty at times. It means that Democrats can be bought off, as we know, at times. But what we need to think about is not whether we are conservative, not whether we are liberal. First, we need to be patriotic. And more than that, we need to think about your health, your family's health, your enemy's health, your neighbor's health, and we need to think of ourselves as patriots. Now, when we do that, we need to fight to get rid of these multi-billion-dollar tax cuts for the very few Americans that have an extraordinary amount of money. Now, when I tell you they have a lot of money, we're talking about enough money to essentially buy a city just about. We're talking about a minimum of $100 million to maybe $5 billion or more dollars. Now, they want to take that money, get rid of Obamacare, take that money, and over time, give tax cuts to the super wealthy. They want to take the health care that your senior citizen family members, your children with cancer, your wife with cancer, or husband, or former Marines that may have cancer, or post-traumatic stress disorder, or anyone. They want to take those monies and they want to get rid of that system. Now, you might say, well, I'm not affected by this because I have Medicare. I'm not affected by this because I have Medicaid. But that is not true. You see, that the Republicans didn't just decide to get rid of Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act. They want to get rid of Medicaid and Medicaid expansion, and they want to have dramatic cuts to Medicare and Medicaid. So that means that if you are an American, there is a 90% chance you're going to be affected. And even if you're not affected, you're going to have higher premiums, as much as 20 to more than 20% increases in your premiums, increases in your co-insurances, increases in your co-pays, and you're going to get less benefits. Now, as I do this, there are Americans in Pittsburgh and fellow people from around the globe. They're over here. I'm doing this live here on July the 29th in Pittsburgh, PA. There are people right here. Some of them, I'm sure, here's my mouth. A lot of them just don't seem to care. And that's okay. I get it. I really get it. But what they don't understand is their life is on the line. This is not an Obamacare matter. This is the difference between these college kids that go to the University of Pittsburgh, the college adults that go to CMU, Carnegie Mellon, they go to Chatham, they go to Robert Morris College, they go to Carlow College, they go to Duquesne, or wherever they go in this area, every one of their lives are going to be affected. And whether they know it or not, they're going to be paying higher costs, they're going to get less jobs with their employers, and they're not going to be out of debt as soon as they want to be. Unless we, the American people, come together, Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal, libertarian, you name it. And we have got to tell Washington, D.C., whether they are Republican, whether they are Democrat, we have to say, this is our money going into D.C. This is our money going over there to Harrisburg. This is our money going to the state government and the U.S. government. Now, I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know about anybody over here. But when somebody takes my money, they better give me something for it. I don't get robbed. Maybe you get robbed, but trust me, I don't get robbed. And if you rob me, I will do everything in my legal power to defeat you. So I want to get your anger up, my fellow Americans. I want you to say, heck no, they ain't taking Obamacare. Because if they do, your mother's going to end up in bad shape. You're going to end up in bad shape. You're going to lose jobs over this. Oh, you don't think it's tied together. I know you don't. But all this is tied together, my friends. So ask yourself one final question. One final question I want you to ask yourself. Should people and companies like General Electric that made $100 billion, should they get $1 billion of your tax money and you get zero? Should the super rich get billions and you get zero? Didn't you work that part-time job? Haven't you been slaving? Haven't it been hard for you to get up and move your butt to get, excuse my language, to move and get going to work? So why should you get robbed by our government? I say no! We will never accept Obamacare being repealed, nor will we accept the con job and ripoff of our government stealing our money.